Commander Jack Powell stared at the small blinking light on his console. The deep space vessel, Horizon, had been mapping the outer edges of the solar system when their sensors picked up something unusual. At first, Jack thought it was just space debris, but the regular pattern of the signal suggested otherwise. "Nancy, come take a look at this," he called to his science officer. Nancy Garcia floated over in the zero-gravity environment and peered at the screen. Her eyes widened. "That's not natural, Commander. That signal has a definite pattern." Jack nodded. "My thoughts exactly. Let's get closer." The Horizon changed course, its engines humming as it approached the source of the signal. As they drew near, they saw it, a sleek, metallic object about the size of a car, emitting a soft blue glow. "It's a beacon," Nancy whispered, "not from Earth." Jack felt a chill run down his spine. After decades of searching the stars, humanity had finally found proof they weren't alone. He opened a channel to Earth. "Mission Control, this is Horizon. We found something you need to see." 3 weeks later, the whole world watched as a fleet of 7 alien ships entered Earth orbit. They were beautiful, like giant silver leaves floating in space. When the aliens broadcast their first message, people everywhere stopped to listen. "People of Earth, we come in peace. We are representatives of the Galactic Council, a union of intelligent species dedicated to peace and prosperity. We have watched your development with great interest and believe you are ready to join our community." The alien who spoke called himself Ambassador Vreek. He had green skin, 4 arms, and eyes that seemed too large for his narrow face. World leaders quickly organized a welcome ceremony at the United Nations. Jack stood at the back of the room, watching as Vreek presented gifts of technology to Earth's representatives. Medical devices that could cure cancer, engines that didn't need fuel, and materials stronger than anything on Earth. "The Council offers these gifts freely," Vreek said, his translator making his voice sound almost musical. "We ask only that you follow our guidance as you join galactic society. For your safety, we must insist that humans remain in your solar system until proper integration protocols are established." Everyone applauded. Everyone except Jack. During his years in space, he had developed a sense for when things weren't right, and something about Vreek's words didn't match his eyes. Over the next few months, Jack was assigned as a liaison between Earth's Space Command and the alien visitors. He attended meetings, helped coordinate technology transfers, and tried to learn more about the Council. One night, while working late at the new alien embassy in Washington, Jack overheard 2 council members talking in a side room. Their translators were off, but they had forgotten to close the door completely. Jack couldn't understand their words, but their tone was clear: contempt. Jack began keeping a journal. He noted small things that seemed wrong. The Council provided amazing medical technology, but refused to share weapons. They built a protective fleet around Earth, but wouldn't allow humans to see how the ships worked. They talked about other Council species, but always found reasons to delay meetings with them. 6 months after first contact, Jack received new orders. He was being transferred away from the embassy to a training facility in Alaska. Before he left, he copied his journal and sent it to an old friend from the academy, Lisa Carter. "I'm not sure what's happening," he wrote in his message to her, "but I don't think the Council is telling us everything. Keep your eyes open. Something bigger is going on here." As his plane flew north, Jack looked out the window at the alien embassy glowing in the distance. The Council ships circling Earth no longer looked protective to him. They looked like a cage. 5 years had passed since the aliens arrived. Earth had changed. New buildings with strange curves rose in every major city. People used alien tech to cure diseases and clean the air. Everyone said life was better with the Galactic Council watching over humanity. Almost everyone. Lisa Carter sat in her small apartment, the windows covered with heavy curtains. On her computer screen, strange symbols flashed. She had found these signals by accident while working at the Global Communications Center. The aliens said they were just system updates. Lisa knew better. Lisa had been a friend of Jack Powell before he vanished. The official story said he died in a training accident in Alaska. But Jack had sent her his journal first, and she had read every word. Now she spent her nights trying to decode alien transmissions. A knock at the door made her jump. She quickly shut down her computer and grabbed the gun she kept hidden under her desk. "Who is it?" she called. "It's Sam. Open up." Lisa relaxed slightly and opened the door. Sam Hughes stood in the hallway, his former military posture still evident despite his civilian clothes. His eyes looked tired. "Any news?" Lisa asked as she let him in. Sam nodded grimly. 3 more ships disappeared near Mars last week. The Council says it was a navigation error, but I talked to a friend at Mission Control. Those ships were trying to go beyond the approved zone when they vanished. Lisa wasn't surprised. In the last year, dozens of ships had mysteriously disappeared when they traveled too far from Earth. The Council always had explanations, but they never made sense. "I brought someone to meet you," Sam said. "She's waiting downstairs." 10 minutes later, a woman with short brown hair and sharp eyes sat at Lisa's kitchen table. "My name is Megan Ward," she said. "I'm a journalist. Or I was, until the Council's new media guidelines." Megan pulled out a small device and placed it on the table. "This jams their surveillance. We can talk freely for about 20 minutes. She explained that she had been investigating the Council when her office was raided. All her files were taken, but she had backup copies hidden. "They're lying to us," she said. "All of it. The technology, the protection. It's not what it seems." Lisa showed Megan and Sam her computer. "I've been tracking their secret transmissions. They're reporting on us to someone. And look at this." She pointed to a map of Earth with several glowing dots. "These are locations where the signals are strongest. I think they're monitoring stations." Sam studied the map. "We need to check these places out, but we need more people we can trust." And so the truth seekers were born. Over the next few months, their small group grew. A doctor who noticed strange changes in patients after Council medical treatments. A pilot who saw things she wasn't supposed to see beyond Mars. A teacher whose students disappeared after asking too many questions about the aliens. They met in basements and abandoned buildings, sharing information and planning. They created secure ways to communicate and recruited carefully. Every member had the same goal: find out what the Council was really doing on Earth. During a mission to observe a Council facility, Megan made their biggest discovery yet. She photographed a shuttle landing at night. The beings that emerged weren't like Ambassador Vreek or any aliens shown to the public. They were tall, shadow-like creatures with too many limbs. Why would they hide what they really look like? Sam asked as they reviewed the photos. "Because everything is a lie," Lisa said. "The protection fleet isn't protecting us. It's containing us. We're not guests of the Galactic Council. We're prisoners." That night, as the truth seekers planned their next move, alarms blared across the city. The Council announced a new security protocol. All humans would now need special permits to travel between cities. For safety reasons, they said. But the truth seekers knew better. The cage was getting smaller. The rain poured down as Lisa hurried through the dark streets. The new curfew meant she had only minutes to reach the meeting point. She pulled her hood lower and kept her eyes on the ground, avoiding the gaze of the hovering security drones. When she reached the old bookstore, she tapped 3 times on the back door. Sam opened it quickly and pulled her inside. "You're late," he whispered. "Checkpoints everywhere," Lisa explained. "They're getting worse." The basement of the bookstore had become the main hideout for the truth seekers. Maps and photos covered the walls. A dozen people worked at computers or sorted through papers. Megan stood in the center, talking to someone Lisa had never seen before. The stranger was clearly not human. He was short with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer. His eyes were large and completely black, 4 fingers on each hand. He looked nervous. "Lisa, this is Zix," Megan said. "He worked for Ambassador Vreek. Lisa stared in shock. You brought an alien here. To our secret base. He came to us, Sam explained. He wants to help. Zix stepped forward. His voice came from a small device on his neck. I am Novarin, from a planet far from here. I served the Council as a data clerk for 80 years. What they are doing to your world is wrong. Over the next hour, Zix revealed secrets that confirmed the Truth Seeker's worst fears. The Council wasn't helping Earth. They were studying humans, containing them, fearing them. Humans are different, Zix explained. Your minds work in ways that frighten the Council. You see patterns where others see chaos. You solve problems in ways that surprise even the oldest Council species. Why would that scare them? Megan asked. The Council has ruled for thousands of years by being the smartest, the most advanced. But humans learn faster than any species they've encountered. Given time and space to grow, humans might become more powerful than the Council. They cannot allow that. Sam pounded his fist on the table. So all this talk about protection is to keep you contained, Zix finished. The ships around your planet aren't guarding you from outside threats. They're making sure you don't become the threat. Lisa thought of Jack's journal. He had suspected something like this from the beginning. We need to tell everyone, she said. If people knew the truth. A loud crash upstairs interrupted her. Then screams and the sound of breaking glass. They found us, Sam shouted, grabbing his gun. Zix looked terrified. Council hunters. They must have tracked me. Everything happened fast after that. The basement door burst open. Strange weapons fired beams of blue light. 2 truth seekers fell. Sam and Megan returned fire while others grabbed what they could. Computers, files, weapons. Lisa grabbed Zix's arm and pulled him toward the secret exit they had built behind a bookshelf. Come on. As they ran through the narrow tunnel, Lisa heard more shots above. Then a deep rumbling sound. The building was collapsing. They emerged 2 blocks away in an abandoned subway station. 5 other truth seekers made it out, including Megan, but there was no sign of Sam. We have to go back, Lisa said, but Megan grabbed her arm. It's too late. Look. On a small screen, they watched a news report already broadcasting. Terrorists targeting alien embassy destroyed in police operation. Leader Samuel Hughes killed while resisting arrest. The report showed pictures of all of them, Lisa, Megan, and the other truth seekers. They were being blamed for attacks they never committed. They're hunting us now, Megan said quietly. Zix looked at the humans with his large black eyes. I am sorry to bring this upon you, but now you know the truth about the Council, and there is much more you need to know. Lisa wiped tears from her eyes. Sam died for this truth. We're not giving up now. As sirens wailed in the distance, the survivors moved deeper into the darkness, taking with them the secrets that the Galactic Council didn't want anyone to know. For 3 days, Lisa, Megan, and the remaining truth seekers hid in the abandoned subway tunnels. They moved only at night, careful to avoid the drones and patrols that searched for them above. Food was running low. Hope was running lower. On the 4th day, they heard footsteps echoing in the tunnel. Everyone grabbed their weapons. Lisa aimed her gun at the darkness, finger tense on the trigger. A tall figure emerged from the shadows with his hands raised. Don't shoot, it's me. Lisa nearly dropped her gun. Jack Powell. It was him, older, with a scar across his cheek that hadn't been there before, but unmistakably Jack. The man who had started all this, who was supposed to be dead. How are you alive? Lisa asked when they had retreated to their makeshift camp. The training accident was fake, Jack explained. I was asking too many questions, so they sent me to a special facility near Jupiter. There are hundreds of us there, people who notice things they shouldn't have. I escaped during a supply transport. Zix studied Jack carefully. You should not have been able to escape. Council security is perfect. Jack smiled grimly. Not as perfect as they think. Humans are pretty good at finding holes in systems. He showed them a small device implanted in his wrist. This lets me pass through Council security scans undetected. And I brought one for each of you. Megan leaned forward. Why come back? Why risk it? Because I found something important, Jack said. Something worth dying for. I know how to access the Council's secret archives. The plan was dangerous but simple. The Council had built their main Earth embassy over the old United Nations building in New York. Jack had discovered that deep beneath it was a data center that connected to the Council's main network. We need to get inside, Jack explained. With Zix's access codes and my security bypass, we can download their restricted files. They'll be expecting us, Lisa warned. After what happened at the bookstore, security will be tight. That's why we're not going as ourselves, Jack said with a smile. The next night, 3 Council maintenance vehicles approached the embassy. Inside were Lisa, Jack, Zix, Megan, and 2 other truth seekers, all wearing stolen alien environmental suits. The disguises worked. The guards scanned their fake IDs and waved them through. Once inside, they split up. Lisa, Jack, and Zix headed for the underground levels while the others created a distraction in the power systems. The data center was massive, rows of glowing columns stretching into the darkness. Zix moved quickly to a terminal and began typing. Hurry, Jack whispered. We have 10 minutes before the systems reset. Zix's fingers flew over the strange keyboard. I am searching for the Ascension Protocol. It contains everything about the Council's plans for developing species. The screen filled with alien text. Zix gasped. This is it. The complete records. As Zix downloaded the files, Lisa scanned through images on the screen. She saw worlds like Earth, civilizations rising and falling, and always the Council watching, interfering. Look at this, she whispered. Earth is listed as Species Development Case Number 37. There were others before us. Jack pointed to another section. And look here, something called the exiles. Who are they? Species who escaped, Zix explained, his voice trembling. Those who discovered the truth and fled beyond Council space. The Council erased them from official records. They're not supposed to exist. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed throughout the facility. We've been detected, Zix cried. Jack grabbed the data drive as it finished downloading. We got what we came for. Now we run. They raced back through the corridors as security doors began closing around them. When they reached the maintenance bay, they found their vehicles surrounded by guards. This way, Zix said, pulling them toward a waste disposal chute. As they climbed in, Lisa looked back at the embassy, the center of the lies that had changed her world. In her pocket was the truth, the secrets that the Galactic Council had kept hidden for thousands of years. Now they just had to survive long enough to share them. The old farmhouse looked abandoned from the outside. Its paint was peeling, and the windows were covered with dust. But beneath it, the truth seekers had built a new base. It was here, in the underground rooms, that Lisa, Jack, Megan, and Zix studied the stolen Council files. I've never seen anything like this, Lisa said, looking at the screen where symbols and images flashed. Zix helped translate. The Council has been monitoring thousands of worlds. When a species gets too advanced, they step in. They call it guidance, but it's really control. Jack pointed to a section about humans. Look at this part. It says humans have unprecedented neuroplasticity and creative problem-solving. What does that mean? Megan asked. It means, Zix explained, that human brains adapt faster than any species the Council has seen. You can learn new skills and change your thinking in ways that took my people generations. And that scares them, Lisa said, understanding now, because they can't predict what we'll do. The files revealed more. Most Council species had rigid minds. They were smart, but in fixed ways. They followed patterns that hadn't changed in thousands of years. Humans were different. Humans saw connections that others missed. They made leaps of logic that surprised even the oldest council races. "There's more," Jack said as he studied another file. "Look at what they planned for Earth if we became too advanced." The plans were chilling. The council had ways to slow human progress. They could put chemicals in food and water to reduce intelligence. They could start wars between nations. They had done these things to other species before. "They're monsters," Megan whispered. "They're afraid," Six corrected. The council species evolved differently. They value order and control. Human unpredictability terrifies them. As they worked through the files, people from nearby towns joined them. Word spread carefully, person to person. The resistance grew. Jack trained people to fight. Lisa and Megan worked on ways to block the council's mind-reading technology. "The council has limited telepathic abilities," Six explained. "They can sense strong emotions and surface thoughts, but only at close range." Lisa had an idea. Using materials from old electronics and information from the stolen files, she created small devices that generated a field to block telepathic scanning. "It's not perfect," she told the others as they tested her invention, "but it should keep them from reading our thoughts during brief meetings." One night, as they were planning their next move, a young woman named Penny rushed into the room. "Council ships, at least 5 of them, coming this way." Everyone moved quickly, grabbing equipment and weapons. They had planned for this moment. Hidden vehicles waited in an old barn. Escape routes had been mapped. "How did they find us?" Megan asked as they loaded computers into trucks. "It doesn't matter now," Jack said. "We need to split up. They can't catch all of us." Lisa made sure the data drive with the council files was secure in her pocket. This information was too important to lose. As they prepared to leave, Lisa pulled Jack aside. "Where will we go? The council controls everything." Jack smiled slightly. "Not everything. Remember the files about the exiles? I think I know how to find them." Outside, the sound of ships grew louder. Through a small window, Lisa saw lights in the sky moving closer. "We need to find a way off Earth," Jack continued. "The exiles escaped council control. They can help us do the same." Zix approached them. "There is a way, but it would require stealing a council ship. No human has ever piloted one." "No human has tried," Jack said with determination. "But I think we can figure it out. That's what humans do best, right? Solve problems in ways that surprise them." The first explosions hit nearby as council weapons targeted the farm. The truth seekers raced to their vehicles. As Lisa climbed into a truck with Zix and Megan, she looked back at the farm. The base they had built was being destroyed. But the truth they had discovered could not be burned away so easily. The human advantage was real, and now they would use it to fight back. The desert air was cold at night. Lisa shivered as she crouched behind a large rock, watching the council outpost through binoculars. After fleeing the farm, the remaining truth seekers had split into 3 groups. Lisa's team had traveled west, toward one of the smaller council facilities in Nevada. "There it is," she whispered to Jack, pointing at a sleek silver ship sitting on a landing pad. "That's our ticket off this planet." Jack nodded. "Smaller than I expected." "Good. Easier to fly." Megan checked her weapon. "If we can fly it at all." "We can," Six assured them. "Council ships have simple controls. They are designed for many different species to use." For 2 weeks, they had planned this mission. Other truth seekers created distractions around the world to confuse the council. Meanwhile, Lisa's group studied everything Zix could tell them about council ships. A figure emerged from the shadows behind them. Lisa raised her gun, then lowered it when she recognized who it was. "All clear on the east side," the man said quietly. "But we have a visitor." Another person stepped forward, tall and thin with oddly jointed legs. Not human. "This is Krell," the man explained. "He found me in town. Says he wants to help." Krall's skin was pale green with faint markings that looked like writing. His eyes were large and golden, with vertical pupils. "I have been watching you," Krall said in perfect English. "You seek the exiles. I am one of them." Everyone stared in shock. Zix stepped forward, studying the newcomer carefully. "How is this possible?" Zix asked. "You look like a Vestin, but Vestins joined the Council centuries ago." "Some did," Krall replied. "Others refused and were hunted. I was born in the free colonies, beyond Council space. I came to Earth as a scout when we detected unusual Council activity here." "Why show yourself now?" Jack asked suspiciously. "Because you have done what few species ever manage. You discovered the truth about the Council before they could fully control you, and now you plan something very dangerous." Krall explained that stealing a Council ship would trigger an immediate response. The Council would lock down all of Earth. Anyone caught trying to leave would be destroyed. "There is a better way," he said. "A hidden network of wormholes that the Council doesn't control. One entrance is not far from here." "Why should we trust you?" Megan asked. Krall touched a device on his wrist. His appearance shimmered and changed. Suddenly he looked human. An ordinary man who might pass unnoticed on any street. "I have lived among humans for 20 years, he said, his form shifting back to its original state. "In that time, I have seen what the Council fears, your potential. I believe humans belong with the exiles, not under Council control." After much discussion, they decided to trust Krall. He led them to what looked like an ordinary cave in the mountains. Deep inside, hidden technology hummed. "This will take us to a transit point," Krall explained. "From there, we can reach the hidden star cluster where many exiles live." As they prepared to leave, alarms sounded outside. Council ships appeared in the sky. "They found us," Lisa said. "How?" "Tracking devices," Zix realized with horror. "The implants Jack brought. The Council must be able to trace them." They ran toward the cave entrance, but Council soldiers were already approaching. Someone needed to hold them off while the wormhole technology was activated. "I'll do it," said a quiet voice. It was Sam, not dead after all, but badly scared from the bookstore attack. "Sam." Lisa gasped. "You're alive." "Not for much longer," he said grimly, checking his weapon. "Get to the exiles. Tell everyone what the Council really is." Despite their protests, Sam pushed them toward the cave. "This is how we win, one sacrifice at a time. Now go." As they ran into the cave, the sound of fighting erupted behind them. Krall activated the hidden technology, and a swirling portal of light appeared. "Jump," he shouted. "Now." Lisa hesitated, looking back toward the sound of battle. "His sacrifice won't matter if we're caught," Jack said, taking her hand. Together, they leaped into the light. Behind them, the sound of Sam's last stand faded away. Lisa felt like she was being pulled apart and put back together. The wormhole journey lasted only seconds, but it seemed like forever. When it ended, she fell onto a metal floor, gasping for breath. Jack helped her up. "You okay?" She nodded, looking around. They stood in a small room with curved walls. Strange symbols glowed on the surfaces. "Where are we?" Megan asked. "Transit station," Krall explained. "The first stop in the hidden network." The group followed Krall through a doorway and into a larger chamber. Windows showed the blackness of space outside, with unfamiliar stars shining. Other beings moved around the chamber, aliens of different shapes and sizes. None looked like the Council species Lisa had seen on Earth. "These are all exiles?" Jack asked in wonder. "Some exiles, some traders," Krall said. "This station sits at the edge of free space, beyond Council control." Zix stayed close to Lisa, clearly nervous. Most of these species are supposed to be extinct or primitive. The Council lies about so much. A large ship waited in a docking area. Unlike the sleek silver Council vessels, this one was bulky and practical, with visible repairs on its hull. Our transport to the Alliance, Crawl said. It's not pretty, but it's fast. Once aboard, Lisa studied the star maps on the walls. They showed regions of space she had never seen in Earth's astronomy books. The nebula hides us, Crawl explained as they traveled. The radiation confuses Council sensors. Inside it, we built our own civilization, the Exile Alliance. After a day of travel, they reached their destination. Through the ship's windows, Lisa saw something amazing, a cluster of space stations and small planets inside a glowing purple nebula. Ships moved between them like bees around a hive. The main Alliance hub, Crawl said with pride, home to 17 species who escaped Council control. When they docked at the largest station, Alliance officials met them. They were not friendly at first. The humans were taken to separate rooms and questioned for hours about Earth, the Council, and how they had found the hidden network. They don't trust us, Lisa told Jack when they were finally allowed to meet again. They think we might lead the Council here. Can't blame them, Jack replied. They've been hiding for generations. 3 days passed before the Alliance leaders called them to a meeting. The Council chamber was filled with representatives from different species. Some looked almost human. Others were completely alien, floating gas clouds or crystalline structures. The leader was a tall being with 4 arms and skin that changed colors as she spoke. I am Sheena, Chief Coordinator of the Alliance. We have reviewed your information and testimony. She didn't sound friendly. While your escape is impressive, bringing humans here was dangerous. The Council will increase their efforts to find us now. We didn't have a choice, Lisa said. They were going to mind wipe or kill us. And what do you want from us? Another leader asked. Sanctuary. Information, Jack answered. Technology. Help to free Earth. This caused murmurs among the Alliance representatives. Some sounded angry. We don't fight the Council directly, Sheena explained. We hide. We survive. We cannot risk everything for your world. The meeting was going badly when alarms suddenly blared throughout the station. A voice announced, Council scout ships detected at the nebula edge. Defensive positions. Screens showed 3 Council vessels approaching. Somehow, they had found a way through the nebula. They followed you, accused one of the representatives. Impossible, Crawl defended them. The wormhole can't be traced. As the Alliance leaders argued about what to do, Lisa noticed something about the approaching ship's flight pattern. She had studied Council tactics from the stolen files. They're using a standard search grid, she said suddenly. They don't know we're here. They're just searching systematically. How can you be sure? Sheena asked. Because I recognize the pattern, Lisa explained. And I know how to disrupt it. Lisa described a plan using the nebula's radiation and false signals to confuse the Council ships. It was something no exile had considered, a human solution to a problem they had always handled differently. The Alliance was skeptical but desperate. They let Lisa and Jack help coordinate their defense. 2 hours later, the Council ships retreated, completely fooled by the human strategy. The mood changed after that. The exiles looked at the humans with new respect. Perhaps, Sheena said quietly, we have underestimated what humans can bring to our alliance. 3 months passed in the hidden nebula. Lisa, Jack, and the other humans worked closely with the Exile Alliance. They shared knowledge, studied Alliance technology, and planned. It's time, Jack said one morning as the leadership gathered in the command center. We need to go back to Earth. Sheena, the Alliance leader, nodded slowly. Her skin turned a thoughtful blue color. The ships are ready. But are you sure about this plan? It's very risky. Risk is what humans are good at, Lisa replied with a small smile. Their plan was bold. Using Alliance stealth technology and the hidden wormhole network, a small fleet would slip past the Council blockade around Earth. They would broadcast the truth about the Council to everyone on the planet at once. The Council will try to stop the broadcast, Megan warned. They'll have emergency plans. We know, Jack said. The files we stole showed their contingency plans. If humans learn too much, the Council will trigger disasters, storms, earthquakes, even disease outbreaks, to reset our civilization. But now we know what to expect, Lisa added, and we've prepared countermeasures. The next day, 5 ships left the nebula. Each carried humans and exiles working together. Lisa, Jack, and Krull were on the lead ship. Zix stayed behind to help coordinate from the Alliance base. The journey back to Earth was tense. They used the hidden wormholes to jump most of the way, but the final approach had to be made slowly, using stealth systems to hide from Council sensors. There it is, Jack said quietly as Earth came into view, blue and beautiful, surrounded by Council ships like a fence around a prison. Council patrols at standard positions, Krull reported from the sensor station. They don't see us yet. The 5 Alliance ships slipped between the Council vessels. Years of hiding from the Council had made the exiles experts at stealth. Once in Earth orbit, they deployed small broadcast satellites, hundreds of them, falling toward the planet like raindrops. Satellites in position, Lisa announced. Starting broadcast in 3, 2, 1. All across Earth, screens flickered. Phones, computers, billboards, every device connected to a network began showing the same message. The secrets the Galactic Council doesn't want you to know. The broadcast showed everything. The stolen files, testimony from Zix and other defectors, proof of the Council's lies. It showed images of the Exile Alliance and explained how other species had escaped Council control. Council ships are moving, Krull warned. They've detected us. On Earth, alarms began sounding. The Council was implementing their emergency plan. Weather patterns changed suddenly. Ground sensors detected movement along fault lines. They're doing it, Megan said grimly. They're trying to create disasters to distract everyone from the broadcast. But the humans were ready. Around the world, truth seekers activated hidden devices. Technology built with Alliance help to counter the Council's weapons. Lisa watched the data streams with held breath. The countermeasures are working. The storms are dissipating. The earthquake triggers are being neutralized. The Council ships surrounded the Alliance vessels, weapons charging. On the communication screen, Ambassador Vriek appeared, his face twisted with anger. This violation will not stand, he hissed. You cannot break the natural order. Humans must be guided. No, Jack replied calmly. Humans make their own path. And now everyone knows it. Vriek was about to respond when new signals appeared on the scanners. Ships were rising from Earth. Hundreds of them. For years, humans had been building their own fleet in secret, hidden from Council eyes. This is Commander Helen Davis of Earth Defense, a voice announced on all channels. Ambassador Vriek, your Council's authority on Earth is hereby revoked. Please leave our solar system. The Council ships hesitated, outnumbered. Some began to retreat. On the Alliance ship, Lisa and Jack watched as Earth broke free. It would not be an easy fight. The Council was powerful and controlled much of the galaxy. But humans were no longer alone. With the Alliance behind them, and the truth widely known, they had a chance. In the Council High Chamber, far across the galaxy, the oldest and most powerful Council leaders watched the events unfolding on Earth with growing horror. One turned to another and whispered, "They've done what no species has ever done. They united against us in a single generation." "What does this mean for the Council?" asked another. The eldest member's eyes narrowed. "It means everything changes now. The secrets are out, and they cannot be hidden again."